Being financially free is always our end of mind. When we can control this aspect of our life and have that routine for our money that every single day you set aside and you focus on what matters most, then most likely you'll achieve what you dream of. Hello everyone! Welcome back to our channel. This is Saiyo from Rampver Financials. I hope all of you guys are doing great despite all the challenges around us, and I pray that you and your loved ones will stay safe and well. Before anything else, I'd like to thank all our KA-RFF for continuously supporting our channel by watching and liking our videos, leaving lovely comments, and of course, by sharing them with everyone else. Always know that your support means a lot to us. For today's video, you are in for another content and a very interesting topic as we discuss how you can stop living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe during this pandemic, you're one of those who experienced pay cuts or not earning as much unlike pre-pandemic. Indeed, this time has tested our preparation level in terms of emergency, and the question is, if another pandemic happens, how are we ready for that? According to Career Explorer, the salary range in the Philippines stretches from 11,000 to 200,000 per month. In this range, the lowest earned salary is typically 11,300 per month and the highest is 199,000 pesos. However, most common na salary ng mga tao sa Philippines is around 45,000 pesos in a month. But given different professions, the compensation can also vary. When you live life from paycheck to paycheck, you are constantly scrambling to make ends meet or running out of money before the end of the month. It can be stressful because you feel that you never have enough to cover all your bills and buy the things you want. There were times wherein hindi mo pa nare-receive yung sahod mo, but then you are already allotting it into something else. And when you live life like this, it's nearly possible to get ahead financially. Often you end up overspending and running up more debt each month. When you have this kind of difficulty, it's always a challenge of how and where to start. But it can be done. I hope these steps can help you start thriving financially so you can begin reaching your financial goals. The most significant thing you can do to have an overview of your finances is to list things down. You have to know where your money goes, and that's where we can start. Some people ayaw nilang mag-budget, pero nagtataka sila kung saan na napupunta yung pera nila, and they start tracking it. So whichever you prefer, if you like budgeting or you like tracking, make sure that you can see where your hard-earned money is going. Keeping a careful eye on your spending is critical to getting a grip on overspending. There are a lot of apps out there that you can use in tracking your expenses. If hindi ka pa sanay sa mga gantong techniques or technology, you can write it down in a notebook or on a paper. And as you go along with tracking your expenses, you can also develop that budgeting skills later on. Because in budgeting, this is where you can make proper allotment of your finances and you can write down a monthly budget or maybe a year. However, writing it down and living on it are two different things. Nabasa ko to somewhere wherein may times kasi that you track your spending, that's where you budget effectively. But then you stop spending when you run out of money. Hindi yung kukuha ka dun sa ibang budget mo para lang makover itong gusto mo or itong needs mo na to. That's basically how we ruin things kapag nagbabudget tayo. But for me, the budget that works is that when I have all my expenses built into that, na hindi na ako magugulat when I have my insurance or other bills na nag-due. Alam naman natin that due date or Judith, kilala natin si Judith, is always there. So the most significant step you can take to stop living from paycheck to paycheck is to prevent from having periods when you go crazy with spending and end up blowing all of your money for the rest of the month. Next step that I have is to find your why. For us to move forward, it always starts with a matter of decision. Because you need a solid reason to change your habit and start working for change. A simple continuous step that someday has more significant impact to the overall transformation of how you live your life. The moment you acknowledge that you're having difficulty in this aspect, that's the time where you have to decide, you have to turn these things around. Could it be that you're saving toward a down payment on a car that will make your life easier later on? Or down payment for a house so that you can stop renting? Whatever goal or reason you have in mind, you must believe that you can make it come true. Otherwise, ang pag-cut mo ng other expenses mo, it will not matter. You have to decide to make a small change now that will lead a more significant impact in your life later on. The following practical step for me is to set aside money each month. The better way to stop from living paycheck to paycheck is really to have money. Have an emergency fund. The ideal emergency fund is within 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses. And to do this, you can start by setting aside a portion of what you earn regularly. I've been using 50-20-20-10 rule. You'll spend 50% for your needs, 20% for your wants, 20% for your savings, and lastly, 10% for your tithes and offering. You don't have to follow this right away. You can craft based on your current situation. Start by saving 5% of your salary each month, then grow it to 10, to 20, and so forth. This emergency fund is your starting point for long-term stability. When you're ready, you have that confidence that you can face no matter what may come. And you don't have to worry. So I pray and declare that you'll have the life you wanted. Not just for you, but your family as well. And once you set up your emergency fund, you can now start working with your debts if you have debts. And that's our last step. Get out of debt. The debt usually eats up a portion of each paycheck and can hold you back from doing the things you want to do the most. Logically, you can't go out of debt if you'll borrow money to pay another one. I remember our President Rex Mendoza gathering each of us in Rampver Financials and having a session on how you can pay off your debts and introducing a snowball effect to us. The debt snowball method is a debt deduction strategy where you have to pay off your debt in order of most minor, maliit yung interest, to the most significant, so that you can gain momentum as you knock out each remaining balance. The moment you cross out at the very least on your list is that you have that level of satisfaction and your goal is to clear all of them. And you can start doing small while aiming for the bigger one. Being financially free is always our end of mind. When we can control this aspect of our life and have that routine for our money that every single day you set aside and you focus on what matters most, then most likely you'll achieve what you dream of. And so, I hope you've learned something new today on how you can stop living life paycheck to paycheck. If you have family or friends who might need to hear this content, I hope you can share it. And if you have practical steps that I couldn't include, please leave them in our comment section below. And for those who haven't subscribed yet, we will appreciate that if you'll consider subscribing and click that notification bell so that you'll get notified. Again, this is Saiyo from Rampver Financial saying thank you for watching our videos and see you next time. Blessings!